Welcome back. We're going to try and sort out the limp mode on this, see if we can find out exactly what's causing the problem. We'll just get dug straight in, I'll tell you where we're at. So, this is currently where we're at the minute. When I have plugged the diagnostic tester in, I have had code 1019. I think that's what the code is. I'll put a picture down here somewhere. 1019, I think it is. Basically, it's for the fuel rail pressure sensor. Now, being a little bit dense in diagnosing this because modern codes now have the code. Will just tell you what the fault is, and then they'll have a two-digit number afterwards, which will tell you exactly what the fault is. So, like, say it's out of range, it's open circuit, it's high, it's low. It'll tell you what it is, but it's not. All this is doing, it's quite a basic setup, I believe. It's just telling you there's an issue with the fuel rail pressure sensor. Now, I've went out and just bought a fuel rail pressure sensor, whacked it in, thinking, haha, that'll solve the problem. That did not solve the problem. That actually brought on another problem. Where before it was going into limp mode and dropping down to 2000 RPM, since I put the new pressure sensor in now, it's just cutting out dead, done. Definitely on the tracks of a fuel issue, should we say. So, we've already changed the filter on it, bear in mind. So we're happy that filter's new and good and go. We've got a brand new fuel rail pressure sensor on. That's good. So I'm thinking at this point, right, okay, so we're obviously getting, I assuming we're getting low fuel pressure, sorry. There was one time when it cut out, there was no power to the pump. The pump just wasn't making a noise. There was no audible sound at all from the pump. So I thought, maybe it's the primary scavenger pump inside the tank is failing. Pulled that out, had a look. We found a bit of crap and debris in the bottom of the pickup where the pickup is. So we've cleaned all that out just in case it's trying to suck crud through and not getting anything clean through. And puts it back in again. Long story short, the fuel pump is still cutting out. So I'm thinking at this point, right, fuel pump is fried. It's not lasting 5 minutes before it's just cutting out and giving up altogether and stopping it going. Before I spend 60-70 quid on a new fuel pump, we'll just, out of curiosity, check the wires. So we'll check the wires. Live's being cut out completely to it now. Not having any kind of wiring schematic at all for this, I'm assuming the fuel pump is powered from the ECU. So the ECU's cutting it out for whatever reason. So the ECU's freaking out, cutting it out. Now, been on the forums, what's the problem, this, that and the other. A couple of people suggested this, suggested that, suggested the high pressure fuel pump. I'm not sure about the high pressure fuel pump because it runs when it runs. It's sweet as absolutely sweet as a nut, can't fault it. But one person says check your injectors. Now, I can't see what problem the injectors would have. It runs sweet as a nut without it, so we can't work that out. Anyway, long and short of it is, I've been doing a bit more research on the internet, and there's one particular forum, just ask or something. I can't remember what it was now. Basically, it was a mechanic on there. And he was saying, oh, you need to go through this, you need to go through that, you need to go through that. And every single comment that they'd put on was 100% bang on the issues that I'm having. And it was working through the process that I'd been working through. Anyway, long and short of it was, he says, the mechanic, it says, get your injectors checked. Guy come back and says, oh, my mechanics checked the injectors, they're all right. So then they've gone through everything else, checked the harness, to check the ECU, the whole lot. They've had the sent away, spent thousands on this van to get it going. Come back to the end of it, he says, the problem could only either be with your fuel pump or your injectors. So anyway, the guy's gone back to his mechanic, checked with his mechanic, and his mechanic says, oh, sorry, I've overlooked the injectors, I didn't do them properly, let's have a look. Checked them, found out a faulty injector in there. Now, which makes perfect sense. Faulty injector, if it's leaking off too much, drop the fuel pressure when it's under load, shut everything down, because the van doesn't know what's happening at this point, because the van's like, I've got no fuel, just shut everything down, save the engine, shut everything down. So what I've done is I've bought, just cheap off eBay, 30 quid, diesel leak off pressure tester. So now as it happens, I've already done this test off camera, so I know what the results are. What we're going to do is we're going to quickly hook it back up onto the van, and we'll run the test again, and so you can see exactly where we're at. So we'll get that sorted. It's very simple to set up. Basically all I've done is I've took the leak off pipes, and hold on, let's have a look, see if we can get you going here. I've took the leak off pipes off the top of the injectors, and where all four of them accumulate into a pipe under here, I've run a separate pipe down. I don't know if you can see that one there, with a jerry can at the bottom, because there will be diesel pour back through there. And then each one of these test tubes here is run off each injector, so they each correspond. So this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, so I can see what each individual injector is leaking off and showing what it's doing. So all I do now is simply start the engine up. The injectors that leak off more than they should do, basically what we should have is we should have a similar amount in all 4 of these, so they're all leaking off the same. But I happen to know that's not the case, but we'll run the test anyway and see what happens. So just start the engine up, get you set up where we want you to be. Right, now start the engine up and we'll just watch, see which one fills up quickest. So there we go. As you can see, number 3 injector is absolutely pouring out. Number 1, 2 and 3, I have run this for longer because I've emptied this and run this for longer. These 1 and 4 are very much similar. Number 2's just got a little bit more in than 1 and 4, but I would say it's still within an acceptable amount. So what we're going to do is we're going to... This is the fun part. We're going to try and pull number 3 injector and see how that goes. That's it, that's all we've got time for. So, what I've done off camera, I've taken the injectors out, all 4 of the injectors out now. I haven't filmed it purely because it's basically been all week me just hanging, wailing on these injectors, trying to get them out. Now, 2 of them, believe it or not, came out, pry bar underneath, pop, 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 done, straight out. That would be them 2 there. Now, that one there with the white dot on that I put on, I don't know if you can see it there, the white dot on, that one is number 3 injector. That's the faulty one. So that's the one that definitely needs some loving. That's come out nice and easy. So we're happy about that. This one here, number 1 injector, we thought was all right. So obviously we're sending them away as a set anyway. Number 1 injector we thought was all right. The next one I struggled to get out. It took us 2 days to get out. Literally 2 days of beating, pushing, pulling on it. Was number 4 injector. Now that one's come out. There is a tiniest little bit of damage on the side here. I don't know if you can pick it up to see or not. We'll do that. I don't know. I see a lot of YouTubers do this. It doesn't always work. There's a tiny little bit of damage there, but hopefully they'll still be able to refurb that one. Now, the next one, another 2 days. I managed to get it loose, but what happened was the nozzle, which is this bit on the bottom here, that little, about that much on the bottom there, the nozzle was actually stuck in, so that the injector itself was actually turning on it. So the top was free, bottom was stuck solid, physically couldn't move it. I've had pry bar on it, heel bars. I'll put a picture up here of the heel bar that I broke on it, right there, and put the picture up. Managed to get it out tonight. Now I'm not proud of this. I'm a little bit proud of this, to be fair, because I got it out without actually knacking the head. That's the black and white of it, but yes, you're seeing right. I've had to basically weld my slide hammer onto the top of it, clean onto the top of it, and then just basically wail on it to get it out. So that injector there, I Get a funny feeling. I don't think they're going to be able to refurb that one. Not too worried. Worst case scenario, got to buy one injector, got to buy one injector. That was number 2 injector, which was showing a little bit excess fuel on there as well. So that was starting to leak as well. So that's not the end of the world. But the reason I had to wail on that is because, well, actually, to be fair, it wouldn't have come out anyway with the heel bars and that. But the fact is, I don't know if you can see. You see that there? Like it's literally, there wasn't even a lip to wail on anymore. I basically pulled the lip off it altogether. So I had no other option with that. That was like a black and white. You're gonna have to just work with it. But yeah, got it out. She's still warm. It's literally that fresh from being out. But yeah, as I say, I'm not proud. A little bit proud. But we're getting that out. So what we're going to do is, basically I've done this, so we know what the problem is now. I am 99.9% confident that this is where the issue's been. Because obviously as it goes under full throttle again, I think I mentioned before, as it goes again, under full throttle, that'll be leaking off something rotten. So it'll probably be dropping the pressure just under the threshold, which will be enough for the van to go, whoa, hold on, I've got a burst pipe somewhere, clearly, shut the whole thing down, fuel off the lot. So basically what we're going to do this week while I'm waiting on my new injectors coming, I need to clean up the holes, there's 2 copper washers in there, I need to get them out, not a problem, they're nice and easy jobs to get out. I've got another, I think it's about a £10 kit off eBay coming to clean the holes out, just a little wire brush on the end of a drill, up and down, clean the holes out so we're all good, ready to go, pop the new injectors back in, build the whole thing back up, hopefully touch wood, by next weekend, that thing should be running and running sweet. As soon as I know that the engine management light isn't going to come back on, I'm going to insure it, tax it. We're taking it out on a road test, so I'll take you guys along with that one just so you can see how much love the van actually gets on the streets. Because up till now, driving it back at 40 miles an hour on a 70 road, I was getting a lot of love. Hopefully, when we achieve 70, we're not going to get that much stress. Anyway, that's by the by. So, sorry this one's been a lot of talky video. Just try to talk you guys through the process, see how you get on with it. Again, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for holding on. If you haven't already subscribed, I would be very grateful if you would subscribe and follow the van build along. As I say, once the mechanical stuff's done, we're going to get on with the fit out. Hopefully this should be, I'm looking probably a few months a few months for the fit out, basically to get it up and working. In the meantime, in the background, I will be working on this, the 3.2 for this, because this is now done its final show. Did it this last weekend. It was a cracking show. I'll put a link up to Chris over at 80s 90s Vaux. Cracking lad, go and give him a follow if you haven't already. Cracking lad, he's just starting to get into the game now, so you know, go and check out his video. I'll put a link to the video down below in the description. Go and give him some love. Tell him Tony from Webster's Workshop sent you. He'll be very grateful. So yeah, made it this far. Thanks very much for watching. We will see you all the next time. Cheers. Laters.